your engine is shaking because you're getting robbed. Not by a criminal, by a sensor. One tiny $10 sensor that almost nobody checks, and it's costing drivers like you thousands of dollars in repairs you never actually needed. Today I'm exposing the 7 sensors behind that shake, ranked from bad to absolutely brutal, and for every single one, I'm handing you the cheap fix before a shop convinces you that you need a 4-figure repair. Stay to the end, because the last sensor on this list is the one nobody thinks to clean first, and skipping it has already cost real drivers thousands for a problem a $10 can of cleaner could have fixed in 15 minutes. Number 7 is your knock sensor, and this is where the financial bleeding quietly begins. A Stinksel knock sensor runs $60 to $150 in parts, but because it's usually buried under your intake manifold, labor alone can push your total past $500 before you've spent a single cent on the actual part. Owners of certain Chevrolet Silverados and GMC Sierras from the 2007 to 2013 model years reported a maddening pattern on forums and in NHTSA complaints, a persistent rough idle and reduced power that dealerships blamed on everything except the real culprit hiding deep in the engine bay. The fix here is almost insultingly simple. A basic scan tool code check for knock retard activity before you approve any labor saves you from paying to remove half your intake for a guess. Trust your idle to a shop that skips this test, and you're gambling with money you'll never see again. Number 6 is your idle air control valve, and this is where the regret starts sinking in fast for a lot of drivers. This part alone costs $60 to $140, but labor and diagnostic time can drag your total past $400 if a shop swaps it blindly instead of testing it first. NHTSA complaint records are loaded with Ford and Chrysler owners describing a hunting, surging idle that dealerships failed to diagnose correctly on the first, second, and sometimes third visit. One 2015 Jeep Cherokee owner documented 3 separate dealer trips and $1,100 in repairs before anyone even looked further upstream. The real solution costs almost nothing: a simple throttle body and idle passage, cleaning with the correct solvent, done in your driveway for under $15. Pay a shop to chase this blind, and you're funding their mistake, not fixing your car. Number 5 is your throttle position sensor, and this one drags you into a slow-motion financial trap most owners never see coming. Diagnosis alone can run you $150 to $300, and by the time a shop finishes guessing, you've often paid for parts you never needed in the first place. Consumer Reports has flagged intermittent throttle sensor drift across countless daily drivers, and on 2014 to 2018 Chevrolet and GMC trucks specifically, worn sensors triggered rough idle codes nearly identical to a dirty airflow sensor, sending owners into a revolving door of thrown parts and wasted cash. The actual fix is a 15-minute voltage sweep test with a multimeter that costs you nothing if you own the tool, instantly separating a true sensor failure from a false alarm. Skip that test and you're one signature away from paying for a $400 throttle body you never needed. Number 4 is your crankshaft position sensor, and here's where this stops being about money and starts being about your safety. A failing crank sensor doesn't just cause rough idle, it can kill your engine without warning, and replacement runs $150 to $500 depending on your vehicle. Reliability data has flagged intermittent crank sensor failures across several Nissan and Hyundai models from 2013 to 2017, and owners describe the same terrifying pattern every time: a rough shake at idle that suddenly becomes a dead stop in the middle of an intersection. NHTSA has documented stalling complaints tied directly to this failure, and that risk is exactly why you can't afford to shrug off a persistent shake. The solution is a resistance test on the sensor, with a multimeter, a 5-minute check that tells you the truth before you're stranded in traffic. A shake you ignore today could leave you broke down on a highway tomorrow. Number 3 is your oxygen sensor, and this is the one dealerships love, because it's expensive enough to pad a bill without raising questions. One upstream sensor alone costs $80, but shops routinely push you to replace 2 or 3 at once, and suddenly you're staring at a $600 to $800 invoice. Here's the trap. A dirty, completely unrelated sensor upstream can send bad data downstream that makes your healthy oxygen sensors look guilty. Owners of 2016 to 2019 Honda Accords and Civics have reported replacing oxygen sensors 2 and 3 separate times, chasing a rough idle that never actually went away, burning through $600 before anyone found the real cause. The real fix costs you nothing but patience, checking your fuel trim data on a scan tool before you ever authorize an oxygen sensor swap. If a shop jumps straight to this repair without checking further upstream first, you are about to become another statistic in this exact money pit. Number 2 is your EGR valve, and this is the sensor that turns a manageable annoyance into a genuine money pit fast. Replacement parts run $100 to $250, but when carbon buildup is severe, labor to clean the entire intake path can push your total repair beyond $700. Owners of certain Volkswagen and BMW 4-cylinder engines from the 2012 to 2017 range have flooded forums with complaints of rough idle, stalling, and check engine lights tied to sticking EGR valves coated in carbon. What almost nobody tells you is that a stuck-open EGR valve can often be freed and cleaned with dedicated intake valve cleaner for under $20, restoring smooth idle without replacing a single part. Skip that cheap fix and let a shop quote you a full valve replacement, and you've just handed over hundreds of dollars for a problem a spray can could have solved. And now, the sensor nobody cleans, sitting quietly at the very top of this list because it is responsible for more wasted repair money than every other sensor combined. Your mass airflow sensor lives right between your air filter and your throttle body, constantly bathed in oil vapor from your crankcase ventilation system, microscopic dust that slips past even a healthy filter, and carbon residue if your EGR system leaks even slightly. Over 30 to 50,000 miles, an invisible film builds on the sensing element, so thin you cannot see it, and that film quietly lies to your engine computer about how much air is actually entering your engine. Your computer answers with the wrong amount of fuel, and that exact mismatch is the shake you feel through your steering wheel at every red light. Consumer Reports and independent mechanics agree. This is one of the most common and most consistently misdiagnosed causes of rough idle on the road today. Yet almost nobody checks it first. One dealership quoted a customer $2,400 for oxygen sensors and catalytic converter diagnosis on a rough idling vehicle, and the real problem was a mass airflow sensor caked in contamination that proper sensor cleaner and 15 minutes could have solved for under $10. A torn air filter seal or an improperly seated filter accelerates this contamination dramatically, meaning a $5 oversight during your last filter change could be the hidden reason you're staring down a repair bill in the thousands right now. The solution is almost embarrassingly simple: pulling the sensor, spraying it with dedicated mass airflow cleaner in short controlled bursts, letting it dry completely, and reinstalling it correctly, a fix that costs you less than a fast food meal. You just found out exactly why your engine has been shaking, and more importantly, you found out exactly how shops turn 7 cheap, simple fixes into repair bills that can gut your bank account if you don't know what to ask for. Don't let a dirty sensor or a lazy diagnosis cost you thousands of dollars you never needed to spend. Before you approve another repair estimate, remember this list, ask the right questions, and protect your wallet the way a trusted mechanic friend would. If this video just saved you from a costly mistake, smash that subscribe button right now so you never fall into one of these traps again, and drop a comment below telling me where you're watching from, because I want to know exactly who I'm helping avoid these financial nightmares every single day.